Section 1. You will hear a conversation between two old friends who meet each other by accident. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
Wow, John. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I haven't seen you since we left school. How long ago is that now? It must be 10 years. Or is it 11?
No, it's 9 years now.
So, 9 years, A, is the correct answer. Now we begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, as a recording is not played twice. Listen carefully to the conversation and answer questions 1 to 5.
Hello, Frank. How are you?
Wow, John. Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I haven't seen you since we left school. How long ago is that now? It must be 10 years. Or is it 11?
No, it's 9 years now. What are you doing with yourself? You were going to be a doctor, weren't you? Or something medical, like a chiropractor?
Well, I was going to be, but that's not what I did. I started medical school, but I didn't really enjoy it, and the idea of doing it for 5 or 6 years and then continuing to study for years after that didn't really appeal. So I left medical school and went into teacher training college to be a science teacher.
And I thought for all these years that you were earning megabucks as a doctor or working in a pharmaceutical company.
No, just a teacher. I love it though. I'm so glad I did it instead of medicine. And what are you doing, Frank?
After school I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I travelled for a couple of years around the world.
Great! Where did you go?
Lots of places, but nowhere in Europe. I wanted to travel long distance. First of all, I travelled through India and Nepal. Then I moved into Southeast Asia for a few months. Then I went through Australia and New Zealand. After that, I went to Africa and went around various countries there. After that, it was South America, Central America and North America.
How on earth did you afford all that?
I just settled down and worked for a few months in places where I could get a job and save money. Then, when I had enough, I moved on. I wasn't exactly staying in luxurious places, though.
And now what? You always wanted to work with computers, didn't you?
Yes, I remember that. However, when I finished all the travelling, I thought of going into travel writing, but it's so competitive. I always fancied journalism as well, so I got into that, and right now I'm working for the local paper.
Did you have to study for that?
Well, some people don't, but I went to college for a year to do a journalism course, and I'm glad I did, as it gave me a bit of a head start, and certainly helped me get my first job.
And are you married and kids, or what?
I married a girl called Liz that I met whilst I was in Australia. We haven't had kids yet, though we're planning on having at least 2 or 3. What about you?
Do you remember Kate, who I dated whilst at school?
Of course, the prettiest girl in the school. You didn't marry her, did you?
Yes, we managed to stay together all through college. She did teaching too, so we were at the same place for 3 years at college. We thought about getting married in our last year at college, but it was all too much, and then we were too busy the year after graduation. So we did it 2 years after we graduated.
Wow, I'm so happy that you guys stayed together. That's great.
Where are you living now?
Oh, in Westley. In the High Street, actually. What about you?
In Westley too. We've got a flat near the secondary school. Obviously then it's easier to get into work.
Before the conversation continues, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 6 to 10.
Listen, why don't you and Kate come over for dinner sometime?
That's a great idea. When?
How about next Friday?
Can't do Friday, I'm afraid. Both Kate and I have a parent-teacher afternoon on Friday after school, and then we'll have to do the paperwork in the evening.
What about Saturday then?
That would normally be fine, but our babysitter is away that night, and we won't be able to find one at such short notice. Why don't you and Liz come over for dinner at ours, and then we'll be able to look after the kids. You'll be able to meet them too.
OK, let's do that then. Liz will be happy. She won't have to cook.
I'll be doing the cooking when you come round. I love cooking.
So, what time shall we come round? 8 o'clock?
Well, we'll be home around 6:30 that night, as we're going out for the afternoon with the kids. I'd say come at about 7:30.
Are you sure that's long enough to get things ready?
Well, that'll be an hour. I don't need more than that.
And what's your phone number just in case?
01347 835 825. That's the home number, and the mobile is 07978 290 512. What about you?
I've only got a mobile. It's 07623 963 957.
What was that last bit again?
I'll say it all again. 07623 963 957.
And I'd better give you the address.
Oh yes, that would help.
We live at Flat 3, Evergreen Terrace. It's just past the church, on the right. We've got a postbox opposite us, and a doctor's surgery next door.
I should be able to find that.
Anything you don't like to eat?
Well, I hate fish and seafood. And Liz doesn't care much for red meat. She likes white meat, though.
How about chicken?
That should be fine.
Oh, yes. When you arrive, none of the bells are marked for security, and there are 4 buttons. You need to press the bell second from the bottom.
Second from the bottom. OK, got that.
I'll be able to buzz you in, and then come up to the first floor, and the door will be open.
Great. Well, it's so good to see you again, John. I really look forward to seeing you on Saturday and meeting Kate again. And the kids, of course.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to meeting Liz.
See you Saturday then. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.